Welcome you all to my class on HSC English first paper. And in today's class, though I have written Unit 5, Food Adulteration, this is the title of Unit 5. But basically today's class will be focused on paragraph writing. And why I have written the title of Unit 5, because the reason is that in first paper English, you have to remember one thing, that if you are asked to write a paragraph, in most cases the titles of the paragraph are basically linked with the different units and lessons that you have in the textbook. That's why I have written that Unit 5, Food Adulteration. Basically, we will talk about paragraph writing, and we will basically talk about food adulteration. It's the title of a paragraph, and we will deal with that. But at the same time, it's the title of Unit 5. So I want to clarify it again, dear students, that in the first paper English of HSC, that you will be asked to write paragraphs, and the paragraphs, the title of the paragraphs are basically, the titles of the paragraphs are basically linked with the titles of the units and of the lessons. So it's already, I hope that it has become clear to you that we are going to deal with paragraph writing. Now, instead of Unit 5, let me write here that we are dealing with paragraph. Now, what is paragraph? That will be a valid question, and I hope that all of you know that what is a paragraph. Basically, a paragraph is a kind of writing in which a single idea is developed in a paragraph. It's different from an essay. In an essay, there are different types of ideas. An essay deals with different types of ideas, but a paragraph deals with a single idea. So if I want to make it more clear, I will say that in an essay there are several paragraphs, or an essay contains several paragraphs, and each paragraph deals with a single idea. So when you will be asked to write a paragraph on a particular topic, you have to basically deal with a single idea, and that single idea will be developed in that paragraph. So there are many ways and there are many rules to write a paragraph. I will gradually discuss one by one. But at first, I want to make one thing more sure to you, that in first paper paragraph writing, paragraph writing in HSC English first paper, the word limit is basically 200. You have to complete your paragraph within 200 words, and obviously in a single para. There is no question about that. And you will be given some questions. You have to answer the questions in such a way so that you can form a paragraph by answering the questions. So again, I repeat that you will be asked to write a paragraph within 200 words, and you will be given some questions, and you will answer the questions in such a way so that by means of answering the questions, you can form a paragraph. So these are the rules of writing paragraph, basically basic rules in first paper English. But apart from these basic rules, there are certain rules which are very important for paragraph writing. Now, the first thing that comes to our mind, that what is the structure of a paragraph, that how many parts are there in a paragraph. Basically, dear students, the paragraph is divided into 5 parts, and let me write the names of those 5 parts. Firstly, basically a paragraph is divided into 3 parts, but some linguists are there, some theorists are there who prefer to divide it into 5 parts as well. So I am writing the 5 parts, and at the same time I will tell you the most important 3 parts of a paragraph. The first one is, topic introducer. So topic introducer, it's the first one. Then comes topic sentence. So it's the second one, topic sentence. And then we can write, developers. Developers, and then after developers you can say modulators. So this is another one, modulators. And finally you can also say terminator. This is the last one, terminators. So terminator is the last one. So how many parts we see over here? Topic introducer, topic sentence, developers, modulators, and terminator. So basically these 3, topic, sentence, developers, and terminator. These three are basically most important three parts in a paragraph. I will explain these different parts in details when I will use slide in today's class. But at first I would like to share with you these things, because these are the preliminary ideas that you have to remember. These are the things we are going to discuss in today's class. And apart from these things, I mean, this is the structure of a paragraph. So it can be divided in 5 parts, but basically the 3 parts are more important: topic, sentence, developers, and terminators. So naturally, you will obviously some questions are already in your mind, that what do these things mean. I have said that I will explain it using slide. And another thing I want to share with you, that there are different types of paragraphs. You know that there are different types, like descriptive paragraph, narrative paragraph, persuasive paragraph, and argumentative paragraph, listing paragraph, definition paragraph. So there are different types of paragraphs, and these types are so important for you, because when you will write paragraph in second paper, in most cases in most cases you will be asked to write a paragraph following specific style. Like you will be asked to write a paragraph following narrative style, or following descriptive style, or following persuasive style, or following argumentative style. That is why, understanding the structure of a paragraph is important, and at the same time understanding the types of paragraphs is also very important. So that is why in today's class what I will do, that I will explain this, the structure of paragraph, these 5 parts in brief, and then I will also discuss different types of paragraphs, and after that I will give a model of paragraph titled food adulteration. I was talking about the structure of a paragraph, different types of paragraph, and I also said that I would discuss food adulteration as a paragraph on board. So when I used the board, I was telling things, I was summarizing, I was basically giving the preliminary ideas. And now when I will explain all these things using slide, now I will tell you the theoretical aspects of the structure of a paragraph, different types of paragraph, and one paragraph we will see as a model paragraph. Now let's start our discussion. Definition of paragraph. I have already given or I have already given you some ideas about the definition of paragraph, and you are basically familiar with the definition of paragraph for a long time. You started practicing paragraph back in class 6 or 5, and in some cases in some schools even before that. Now we are now talking about the formal definition. Now I will tell you things, the formal theoretical principles of paragraph writing right now, and I gave preliminary ideas using the board. A paragraph is a group of sentences about a single topic that together develop one central idea. Now remember, students, there are some important points over here. Firstly, a paragraph is a group of sentences. So how many sentences? We don't know. And let me tell you one thing, that a paragraph can contain 1 sentence, 2 sentences, 3 sentences, even 10, 15 to 20 sentences. So it depends on the necessity of the development or the requirements of the idea. A paragraph deals with a single idea. Remember this. A paragraph deals with a single idea or point, whatever you say, or topic. Now, there is one central idea in a paragraph, a single topic in a paragraph. Now, according to Oxford Advanced Learner Dictionary, a paragraph is a distinct section of a piece of writing, usually consisting of several sentences dealing with a single theme. This is the definition. I am not going to explain it anymore, because already we have come to know about the important aspects of paragraph. A paragraph could contain a series of brief examples or a single long illustration of a general point. And series of examples, it doesn't mean that there will be plenty of ideas. What it means, that a single idea will be discussed, a single idea will be developed in a paragraph. Now let me tell you, repeat you one thing again. I have already explained, but I think it has to be explained again and again. The thing is that when you are writing an essay, there are different paragraphs in an essay. That means an essay contains different paragraphs. Sometimes the teachers say that you have to mention the points in the essay, and sometimes the teachers say that you may not mention the points, but you have to divide the essay into different paragraphs. So why do the teachers say that you may not write the points in an essay or composition, but you have to divide it into different paragraphs? Because each paragraph in the essay then deals with a single idea or deals with a single point, and that is important. And when you are dealing with a single point in a paragraph, that paragraph can contain one sentence, two sentences, 10 sentences, even more than that. It depends on it. Now, sometimes we see the tendency among the students that when they feel that they have written few sentences, they break the paragraph, and they don't know why they are breaking the paragraph. You cannot break the paragraph unnecessarily unless there is a new point, unless there is a new idea which is supposed to be developed. So that is important. So what is a paragraph? A paragraph is a group of sentences. We all know that. And what does it deal with? It deals with an idea, and you can use examples, no problem. But all those examples, they have to be related to the single idea which is being developed in a paragraph. Now, it might describe a place, character, or process. So there are different types of paragraph. I have already said, and I will explain them. Narrate a series of events, compare or contrast two or more things, classify items into categories, or describe causes and effects. So there are different types of issues that paragraphs may deal, and depending on the issues, and depending on the style, and depending on the content the paragraphs deal with, we divide the paragraphs into different types. So basically, the division of paragraph depends, or the paragraphs are named so. I mean, the different types of paragraphs are named so, like descriptive paragraph, narrative paragraph, depending on their function they play. Regardless of the kind of information they contain, all paragraphs share certain characteristics. Well, there may be differences among different types of paragraphs, but there are some common characteristics. And the most common characteristic is that a paragraph basically deals with a single idea. The length of paragraph may vary from one sentence to many sentences. I have already said. It may be short or long according to the necessity of the topic. So the topic is basically, deals with an idea. So remember one thing, that today when we are attending this class, don't confine your understanding to paragraph, only writing paragraphs. Try to remember one thing, try to understand one thing, that in English, in Bangla, or whichever language you use, when you will write an essay or any discourse, so you will feel the necessity of dividing your writing into different paragraphs. So how will you divide those paragraphs? Remember, that is the importance of knowing the basic characteristics of paragraphs. So when you will divide your writing into different paragraphs, you have to divide your writing based on the ideas you are generating in your writing. And each idea will be developed in a single paragraph. And how the ideas will be developed, there are other theoretical aspects regarding that. The first sentence of a paragraph is usually indented. Indented means, leaving some space. You are starting the paragraph. So that is a British style, and without leaving any space, that is American style. So both are appropriate nowadays, but still we see that the students or the books also suggest to give a kind of indent. But remember one thing, that a single paragraph should be written in a single para. Don't take more than one para. Structure, already you are familiar with the names of these terms, but still I'm going to explain these things. Introduce the first one is topic introducer sentence or topic introducer. So it doesn't mean that in every paragraph there will be a topic introducer. It doesn't mean that. I will give you an example, obviously, that Introduce the overall topic of the text, generally the first sentence. So topic introducer is not the topic sentence. Basically, topic introducer comes at the beginning of the paragraph. What is its function? So why are we using topic introducer instead of topic sentence as the first sentence? Sometimes we feel the necessity of introducing the paragraph. If the title of the paragraph, or if we deal with something which is quite unfamiliar to readers, which is quite unknown to the readers, then we feel the necessity of introducing the topic to the learners, to the readers. And after letting them know about the topic, then we go to the topic sentence. Because in such cases, if we straight go to the topic sentence, then it becomes difficult for the readers to understand, because they are not familiar with the topic about which we are going to explain or narrate or describe whatever you say. Now, then comes the topic sentence. So what is the function of topic introducer? The function of topic introducer is to introduce the topic to the to the readers or to the students, whatever you say. What about topic sentence? The topic sentence is that is the soul, that is the main sentence of a paragraph. Now, the topic sentence is the main idea of each paragraph. It contains the focus of the paragraph and tells readers what the paragraph is going to be about. Now, remember, obviously, these theoretical aspects are quite unfamiliar to you, because you have never, probably, you have not yet learned these things. Now, what is the importance of topic sentence, or what is basically topic sentence? A topic sentence must have controlling idea to control or direct the rest of the paragraph. Usually the first sentence of paragraph is the topic sentence, but it can appear at several points in a paragraph. Now, usually the first sentence is topic sentence, but if a paragraph contains topic introducer, then obviously it is not going to be, topic sentence is not going to be the first sentence of that paragraph. It's going to be the second or third sentence in the paragraph. So what is a topic sentence? There are some sentences we have read about the topic sentence, but is it clear to you? I think that it's not yet clear. So what is topic sentence? So topic sentence is basically the soul or the main sentence in a paragraph. What is the function of topic sentence? The topic sentence contains the central idea of the paragraph. What does central idea mean? Say, for example, you are writing a paragraph on, a tea stall. You are writing a paragraph on a rainy day. You are writing a paragraph on railway station. You are writing a paragraph on your on a train journey. You are writing a paragraph on your first visit to the college. So there can be different types of paragraphs. And now you are writing a paragraph on discipline, honesty. Now, there are paragraphs, on traffic jam, traffic education, food adulteration. So, basically, there can be a paragraph which, can be written from different angles, from different point of views. And when you are looking at honesty from your own perspective, I am looking at honesty from my perspective. You are looking at discipline from your perspective, I am looking at discipline from my perspective. Traffic jam is a kind of paragraph that can be written as a descriptive paragraph, that can also be written as a cause and effect paragraph. When you are writing, I will explain different types of paragraphs, and then you will notice the difference between various types of paragraphs, and you will then understand what is the importance of topic sentence. When you are writing a descriptive paragraph on traffic jam, what we expect, what we teachers expect from you, that you will give a picture of the roads, the highways, the streets. You will just give a picture. You will create an image. That is exactly what we expect. But when you will write a cause and effect paragraph on traffic jam, we will expect that what are the causes of traffic jam and what are the impacts of traffic jam. So when you are writing a cause and effect paragraph on traffic jam, your topic sentence is going to be different. And when you are writing a paragraph on traffic jam as a descriptive paragraph, obviously,
your topic sentence is going to be different. So the same title, but if the type is different, in one case it is descriptive paragraph, in another case it is cause and effect paragraph, the topic sentence is going to be different. And the topics, I mean the all the sentences of the paragraph are based on the topic sentence. The topic sentence is the heart of the paragraph, and the topic sentence will guide the paragraph, and the other sentences will move around the topic sentence. So if you give a definition of honesty, you will give the definition in the topic sentence, and all other sentences will move around the topic sentence. So your definition of honesty may vary from my definition of honesty. Your definition of morality may vary from my definition of morality. So your definition or your concept of food adulteration may to some extent vary from mine one. Your train journey is obviously different from mine one, and your first day at college, your experience of first day at college is obviously different from my experience of first day at college. So a topic sentence is basically the main sentence of a paragraph that guides all other sentences. And what about the developers? The developers are basically the sentences which will develop the central idea, and the central idea is mentioned in the topic sentence. So developers basically develop the topic sentence, I mean extend the topic sentence with examples and with supporting ideas. The main idea is expressed in the topic sentence. The main point is expressed in the topic sentence. The main theme is mentioned in the topic sentence, and the function of the developers is to give a focus on the topic sentence and to extend the topic sentence, elaborate the topic sentence, explain the topic sentence with sufficient examples and whatever you need, or description, or sufficient narration, or sufficient listing, or sufficient arguments. So whatever you need, you have to supply in order to establish the topic sentence, in order to put emphasis on the topic sentence. So the role of developers, or the function of developers, is basically to extend and to explain the topic sentence. And you can use reasons, you can use examples, you can use facts, you can use statistics, you can use quotations according to the necessity of the type of the paragraph. So every well-written paragraph they have a middle consisting of a number of supporting sentences. And then we are going to modulator. Modulator is not directly linked to the central idea, but modulator is a kind of sentence which is not focused fully or directly focused on the topic sentence or on the issue which is being developed in the paragraph, but it creates a kind of connection with another idea, but the connection becomes very necessary. Say for example, you are dealing with traffic jam. So it's a kind of problem. So when you are describing traffic jam, or you are basically not narrating, describing, or you are giving list, or you are giving reasons of traffic jam. So at the same time, you might focus on other issues or other problems of the society. So when apart from traffic jam, you are focusing on other social issues, so you are basically using modulator in order to shed light on the target paragraph. I mean the paragraph on which or the title on which you are writing. So modulator, the function of a modulator is to adapt or adjust one thing to another. So it's a kind of linking. If you need to express two different sets of ideas in your paragraph, you will require a context modulator to adjust them. It's a sentence which provides a transition between different sets of ideas. It is through this sentence that you will pass from one group of developers to the other. So when you are using developers, I said what are developers? Developers are the sentences which is basically the body of the paragraph, and the developers are fully focused on the topic sentence. So it works like a bridge between different sets of ideas. But if you want to make a kind of comparison in the paragraph, then you will need, modulator sentences, and that is why modulator sentence is very important. Terminator is also known as the concluding sentence. So what is terminator? It's the concluding sentence. The concluding sentence serves its purpose in two different ways. It either repeats or restates the main idea by paraphrasing the topic sentence, or summarizes the main points made in the body of the paragraph. In either case, it should signal the end of the paragraph. So, terminator is basically the ending of the paragraph. So, in Terminator, what happens that you can terminate, you can use a kind of concluding remarks, but in maximum cases, it is basically, look at the sentence, it either repeats or restates the main idea that was developed in the topic sentence. So it's a kind of, again, emphasizing on the topic sentence, so paraphrasing the topic sentence, or summarizing the main aspects of the paragraph. So as terminator, you can use a sentence as terminator, in which you have to either paraphrase the topic sentence, or you have to make a summary of the main points. Now, I'm giving an example. It's a paragraph on handshaking. It's a paragraph on handshaking. So I am just showing you. It's not a very familiar paragraph for you. It's not that much popular paragraph. But why am I using this? I'm using this in order to make you understand the structure of the paragraph. So handshaking is a greeting convention in many cultures. So what is the paragraph about? The paragraph is about handshaking. It's not the paragraph that I will explain in today's class. This example has just been used in order to make you understand, the different parts of a paragraph. That's why I am using this one. Now, handshaking is a greeting convention in many cultures. This is the topic introducer. So we feel the necessity of using topic introducer in this paragraph. Why? Because in many countries, handshaking is not that much popular. People routinely shake hands at first meeting. So this is our topic sentence. And what does it mean? That by using this sentence as topic sentence, we are basically focusing on the convention of handshaking as a convention of first meeting. So handshaking as a convention in first meeting. So that is what we are using over here. And that is our topic sentence. So what is the paragraph about? The paragraph is about basically our first meeting and handshaking. So we shake hands in our first meeting. In some cultures, the practice is to shake hands on parting also. Now we are extending the idea. In some cultures, we also see the practice of shaking hands when they take leave or when they part. This can be symbolic of drawing business to a close. So it means that they are drawing the business to a close. That means they are saying goodbye. So we are extending the topic sentence. In the topic sentence, we say basically we shake hands in our first meeting. However, in other cultures, the greetings and the farewell are supplemented by bowing gesture where the two persons bow to each other. Now, this is the modulator sentence. We are talking about, remember, we are talking about handshaking as a convention in our first meeting. Now, we are giving an example of greeting which is not handshaking, but we thought the necessity of making a kind of comparison with other conventions of greetings. And that's why we are saying that in some cases, in other cultures, the greetings and the farewell are supplemented by bowing gestures where the two persons bow to each other. So bow means bending the head, bending your head, bending your body, not only head, bending your body, you are greeting another person. So this is modulator sentence. So bowing or bending the body is not our concern in this paragraph, but we are using the example. Why? In order to give more focus on handshaking as a convention in our first meeting. In Japan and Korea, there appears to be some protocol to this behavior, which is rarely understood by those from other countries. So again, this is again a developer sentence because we are extending even the modulator sentence. So whatever you extend in a paragraph is the developer sentence or are the developer sentences. So even when we are extending the modulator sentence, we will call this developer sentence or developers, whatever you say. So developers basically are used in order to extend the idea and develop the idea. So salutations vary across the globe and traditions often differ even within one country. So that is the terminator. And we are saying, we are basically summarizing the entire paragraph, and we are saying that salutations may vary across the globe and transitions often differ even within one country. So this is how we can conclude this paragraph. And how we are concluding this paragraph? We are concluding this paragraph by summarizing the entire paragraph. Now I am going to explain different types of paragraphs, and over here what we basically observed, we observed in a particular paragraph different parts of the paragraph, and we have noticed over here topic introducer, topic sentence, developer sentence, modulator sentence, and terminator. And I try to make things clear to you by giving an example of a paragraph. And now we will try to understand different types of paragraphs. So these types are important for second year as well. In first year, what you will basically face when you will write a paragraph, you will be just given some questions, and you have to answer the questions to make it a paragraph by answering the questions. But in second year, you will be asked to write a paragraph following a particular type, either listing paragraph or comparative comparison paragraph or contrast paragraph. Now, when I will explain different types of paragraph, I will basically explain those paragraphs which are important for you, and I will try to skip, or I will skip, or I will explain in very brief those paragraphs which are less important for you. Now let's go to the first one, listing paragraphs, and I will also give you some examples of this type of paragraphs. In listing paragraph, a list of information between topic sentence and terminator is given to expand the idea contained in topic sentence. So topic sentence is the main sentence, we all know. And after that, between topic sentence and the terminator, we have basically the list. And what kind of list? There is no limit of how many items are to be included in that list, in the list. But a standard listing paragraph usually contains 3 to 6 items on the list. So how many, a list doesn't mean that you will prepare a shopping list. I have said in the next sentence. It is important to note that a list paragraph must not look like a shopping list. Rather, the developers in this type of paragraph should be linked logically by some linkers or connectors. So listing paragraph is basically a kind of paragraph in which you will prepare a kind of list. And when I will give you the example, you will understand it more clearly. And what will happen that when you will give a list, it's not like a shopping list, obviously. So you will feel the necessity of using some connectors. And what kind of connectors are basically used in listing paragraph? The connectors are firstly, secondly, thirdly, again, another, still another, as well, further, moreover, finally, besides. So these are the connectors that we frequently use in listing paragraph. Why? Let's look at the example. How to be successful in a job interview. So when you are asked to write a paragraph on how to be successful in a job interview, just try to understand what you are asked to do. You are just asked to prepare a list of the criteria, or a list of the necessity to be successful in an interview, or my likings. If you are asked to write a paragraph on your likings, so what will you say? What will you write? You will write firstly, secondly, thirdly, moreover, again, besides. Qualities of a good student. So when you will be asked to write a paragraph on the qualities of a good student, so what you are asked to do? You will be basically asked to write or mention the qualities of a student. The qualities, when you will describe the quality of a student, the qualities of a student, you will basically say, firstly, a student has to be punctual, secondly, he has to be studious, thirdly, he has to maintain a daily routine. So this is how you will write the paragraph. So listing paragraph doesn't mean simply to make a list, I mean shopping list, but obviously to prepare a kind of list either of the qualities or of the demerits or of the necessities or of the characteristics, any kind of list you have to prepare by using some linkers like firstly, secondly, moreover, again, besides, and these linkers will be used in the developer sentences to extend the idea being mentioned in the topic sentence. So this is a listing type of paragraph. Now, example paragraphs. Writers use examples to help readers. There's a link between, there is a kind of similarity between example paragraphs and listing paragraphs. Writers use examples to help readers understand what they mean. A good example you give will support the general reason or idea you provide with something specific. So, what is your role in an example paragraph? You will provide the examples in such a way so that the idea you are trying to develop becomes clear. So linkers used in example paragraphs are, for example, for instance, in effect, in this case, in particular, specially, such as, to show that, significantly, etc. I am telling you again that example paragraphs and listing paragraphs are very close to hand. In listing paragraphs, you will basically prepare a list of the qualities of an ideal student, or the demerits of smoking, or the positive sides of something. So you are just preparing the list. But in example paragraph, you are not simply preparing a list. You have to give some examples. For example, abuse of mobile phones. So it may seem to you that abuse of mobile phones may belong to the category of listing paragraph. But just try to understand there is a subtle difference between qualities of an ideal student and abuse of mobile phones. So when you are writing a paragraph on the abuse of mobile phones, you have to give some examples, not simply list. That, for example, the students, spend much time playing video games. So this is not a list. This is rather an example. For example, for instance, the people who used to read books earlier are now spending time on cell phones. So this is an example, not simply making a list. So the difference, obviously there is a similarity between example paragraphs and listing paragraphs, but still there is a subtle difference. The advantages of email. So when the same question will arise. So when you are writing a paragraph on the advantages of email, so it may seem to you that it's a kind of list. No, you will give examples. That how you will give an example, that you will say that when I want to send a document to someone urgently, so that in that case email serves the purpose. So for example, email can serve that purpose. For instance, email is serving the purpose of letters that we used to write once. So letters have the tradition of writing letters is no more, and it has been replaced, for example, by email. So the gifts of science. So the gifts of science. When you will write a paragraph on gifts of science, if you look at it from the point of view of listing paragraph, then you will simply make a list of the gifts of science. But if you write an example paragraph, on the same topic, two different types of paragraphs can be written. So if you write a listing paragraph on the gifts of science, you have to simply prepare the list. Okay, the gifts of science is cell phone, computer, internet, this and that. So firstly, the internet is an important gift of science. Secondly, mobile phone is an important gift of science. But the gifts of science, if you write a paragraph example paragraph, then you have to provide example that our life has gained speed. For example, internet has rendered huge speed to our lives. So that is example paragraph. So even the same topic can be used for writing two different types of paragraph. So for example, we can now send our documents to any person quickly by using email. So this is example paragraph. So you have to provide the examples that by providing examples, you will try to develop your ideas. So this is the subtle difference between listing paragraph and example paragraph. So comparison paragraph and contrast paragraph, these two paragraphs, I mean these two types of paragraphs are also very close. And still, there are some subtle differences. A comparison paragraph deals with two or more people or things that share certain common features. So it's very simple that a comparison paragraph is basically shows the comparison or similarities between persons or things. In comparison paragraphs, the developers present the comparison between two subjects to show the similarities between them. I have already said the linkers used in comparison paragraph are similarly, what is the linker? The linkers are basically the connectors. So when you will develop the idea, when you will use developers in the paragraph, so you will always feel the necessity of using linkers or connectors. So similarly, in the same way, in the same manner, so you are just comparing between two things or two persons or two ideas. So naturally, you will feel the necessity of using some connectors or linkers, and you will use probably similarly, in the same way, in the same manner, likewise, also too. So these are the linkers which are available in writing comparison paragraphs. And what are the examples of comparison paragraphs? My father and mother. So you will not make the contrast between your father and mother. So if you write a comparison paragraph, so you will find the point of similarities between your father and mother. Paragraph and essay. So you are not supposed to write the difference between paragraph and essay. You will find out the similarities between paragraph and essay. If a student asks me that is it not possible to write a contrast paragraph on paragraph and essay? Obviously, it's possible. So when you are writing a comparison paragraph on paragraph and essay, so you will basically show the point of comparison, the point of similarity, I mean, between paragraph and essay. And when you will write a contrast paragraph on paragraph and essay, you will basically show the dissimilarities between paragraph and essay. And if you are asked to write, uh, you know, comparison and contrast paragraph on the title paragraph and essay, so what will you do? You will, in that case, you have to provide both similarities and dissimilarities. Say, for example, the novel and the short story. So you may be asked to write a comparison paragraph on the novel and the short story. So what will you do? You will find out the point of similarities between the novel and the short story. And if you are asked to write a contrast paragraph on the novel and the short story, what will you do? You will find out the points of dissimilarities between the novel and the short story. And if you are asked to write a comparison contrast paragraph, so there is different type of paragraph. I didn't mention it here, but just now I want to let you know that there is another type of paragraph which is comparison contrast paragraph, in which both similarities and dissimilarities should be discussed. So that on the same title, comparison paragraph can be written. So your point of view will be different, and your point of view, what kind of point of view you will maintain, we will try to find out the point of similarities. And on the same topic, contrast paragraph can be written. So what will you do in that case? The point of dissimilarities will dominate your developers or writing. And if you are asked to write a paragraph, I mean a comparison contrast paragraph on that title, so what will you do? You will simply discuss both the points of similarities and dissimilarities in your paragraph. Now the a contrast paragraph compares two subject or things to show the difference between them. The linkers used in contrast paragraphs are but, on the other hand, on the other side, on the contrary. You know, uh, a contrast paragraph we are using here, it has to be not compare, compares. So we are correcting this. And a contrast paragraph compares two subject or things to show the difference between them. So I have already said that in a contrast paragraph you have to show the difference. The linkers used in contrast paragraph are but, on the other hand, on the other side, however, on the contrary, while, whereas, in contrast. So linkers are very important, while writing paragraphs. And why linkers are important, linkers are used to maintain the coherence, I mean the organization of the paragraph. So what is the function of organization? Organization is basically, you are extending the idea, you are unfolding the idea, you are unfolding the point, and when you are unfolding the point, you have to organize it in a proper way. Your sentences have to be organized in a proper way. And organization or coherence is the same thing. So in order to maintain organization or coherence in your writing, you are supposed to use some connectors. Those connectors are basically used and they basically create a kind of a hook among sentences. And that's how they, connect those sentences. So these are the connectors which are frequently used, however, nonetheless, nevertheless, in contrast paragraph. A college and a university, a human and a robot, country life and city life. So, the examples of comparison paragraph or contrast paragraphs, they are very close, but it will depend how you will write the paragraph will depend basically how you are asked to write the paragraph. If you are asked to write the paragraph as a comparison paragraph, I have already said what you will do. And if you are asked to write a contrast paragraph on the same title, and you know that what you will do. In case of comparison paragraph, the points of similarities are important. In case of contrast paragraph, the point of dissimilarities are important. Definition paragraph. Definition paragraph is a very important type of paragraph because, definition paragraphs are used in order to explain the meaning, origin, and function of things. They are used both in academic writing and in fiction. To write a definition paragraph, writers should concentrate on the role of its subject and in the context of the whole paragraph and list comparisons as well as examples accordingly. So, when you will write a definition paragraph, remember one thing. You have to use some points of comparisons and you have to use some examples as well. Why? You are asked to write a paragraph on discipline. So why is it called definition paragraph? Because you have to define discipline. You will discipline in your own style. I will explain discipline or define discipline in my own style. A definition paragraph can also be written on love or happiness or patriotism. Now, what is happiness to you may not be happiness to me. And what is happiness to me may not be happiness to you. So, how will you write the paragraph? Your paragraph on happiness may completely be different from my paragraph on happiness. But remember one thing, you have to define happiness and you have to do justice to your definition, which you will give as the topic sentence, and that definition given in the topic sentence has to be supported, well supported by the developers you will use. So I repeat that you will define happiness. You are writing a definition paragraph on happiness. So you have to define happiness from your point of view. And your definition of happiness has to be supported by the developers you will write to unfold the idea. That is important. So the definition given in the topic sentence has to be well supported by the developers. And the definition may vary, your definition may vary from my definition, that doesn't matter, but it has to be defined. Now, description paragraphs, so descriptive paragraph or description paragraph, narrative paragraph, these are very common types of paragraphs. So, descriptive paragraph is also very important for you. A description paragraph describes someone or something. So, it's a kind of picture, it's a kind of creating image. So, you can be asked to write on a mobile phone, on a cell phone, or on a particular person. While describing anything, it gives the picture of it in words. So a descriptive paragraph is basically creating picture with words. So we take snaps, we take pictures, but when we take pictures, we use the with camera. So descriptive paragraph is just like the function of a camera, but what we do, we try to create a picture using words to make the word picture as vivid and real as possible, and it has to be very vivid, it has to be very lively. The paragraph writer must observe and record specific details that appeal to the reader's senses. And it has to, attract the senses of the readers. Now there we have got five senses: our sense of hearing, sense of sight, sense of, smell, sense of touch, sense of taste. So you have to create picture and everything in such with your words in such a way so that the senses of the readers are satisfied. More than any other type of paragraph, a descriptive paragraph needs sharp, colorful details. So, if you cannot create the picture in a colorful manner, in an attractive manner, readers will not like it. You are asked to write a paragraph on a railway station, so you have to create the picture of a railway station in a lively manner, in a vivid manner, so that a person can see the railway station by reading your paragraph. A tea stall, you have to describe it in a proper way so that the person can understand by reading your paragraph that what does a tea stall look like. Similar is the case with a rainy day, cell phone, floods in Bangladesh, the life of a hawker, an examination hall. So whatever you have to describe it in such a way. You have to paint the picture in such a way with words so that it attracts the readers. As the paintings attract the viewers, similarly, your words will create a painting before the eyes of the reader. So, descriptive paragraph is the most popular type of paragraph in which the the writers are expected to write it, maintaining a good skill. Narrative paragraph is a kind of narration to narrate an experience. A narrative paragraph tells the story of an event, providing the relevant details of when and where the event occurred, as well as who was included. So it's narrating the personal experience or emotions. The paragraph describes either an actual event or a fictional one that the writer creates. Narrative paragraphs usually flow in chronological order. So narrative paragraphs means that you have to explain your own emotions, you have to explain your own experience. It can be imaginary, it can be real in a chronological manner, following the time frame and incident frame. So this is important for narrative paragraph. For example, now in narrative paragraph, the kind of linkers you use later, then these are the kind of linkers you can use. I am again telling you, narrative paragraph is basically the kind of experience you feel, your own experience. You are involved in narrative paragraph. So you have to explain your own experience, you have to explain your own emotions, your own passions. A day at Cox's Bazar, whose day? Your day. So what you will do, you have to narrate how you spent the day, your first day at college. So what will you do? You will narrate your experience of the first day at college. A memorable holiday. So you have to narrate a memorable holiday. So these are the examples, the Olympic uh, games. Now, this let's not use these examples. Let's keep these examples: a bridal party, a job interview, a memorable holiday. Up to this, not these examples. This may create confusion because these examples, what I just deleted, they can be written or you can write narrative paragraphs on these issues, but they may create a kind of confusion. That's why I deleted them. So a job interview, you can also be asked to write a narrative paragraph on job interview. What will you do in that case? You have to narrate. So you can say that I never attended any job interview, but you have to imagine. So you cannot say that. A bridal party. So you can. So what will you do? When you will be asked to write a narrative paragraph on a bridal party, you attended a bridal party and you have to narrate your experience in the bridal party. Now, a descriptive paragraph can also be written on a bridal party. How will you write a descriptive paragraph on bridal party? If you are asked to write a descriptive paragraph on bridal party, in that case, you have to paint the bridal party with words in such a way so that when a reader will read your paragraph, he can understand that, well, this is the color or this is the image of a bridal party. But when you will be asked to write a narrative paragraph on bridal party, you will just give the narration of your own experience in a bridal party. A memorable holiday is your memorable holiday. So you have to narrate the incidents. So the difference between descriptive paragraph and narrative paragraph is very important to understand. In a narrative paragraph can be written on a bridal party. A narrative paragraph can be written, your experience in a railway station. Or a descriptive paragraph can also be written on a railway station. So when you will write a descriptive paragraph on railway station, you have to give the physical features of the railway station in a colorful manner, in a vivid manner. But when you will be asked to write a narrative paragraph on your visit to the railway station, so you have to just write your own experience, not the physical features. The physical features become less important in that case. So classification paragraph, this is not that much important. Still, I'm telling you, writing a classification paragraph takes a slightly varied approach. It should rely on both defining and comparing. The writer should classify the subject of the paragraph specific context. The example is, vocabulary, linguistic, using vocabulary to show contrast, and errors of language learners. The examples: errors of language learners, library, jaundice, literature. So, what does it mean? That you have to at first say what is literature, and then you have to make a kind of comparison. And if you are asked to write errors of language learners, at first you have to identify what are the errors, and then you have to give some examples, this and that. This type of paragraph is not usually given in the HSC level, so I'm not going to describe it in details. Process paragraph means that just look at the examples, things will be easier in that case. How sugar is made, so you have to describe the process. So how to write a paragraph, so you have to describe the process of writing a paragraph. Within the word, the definition of the paragraph lies. Preparing a cup of tea. So what will you do? You will just tell the process of preparing a cup of tea. How you will boil the water, then how you will put the tea in the water. Preparing for an examination. So you have to tell the process for your preparation for the examination. So that is basically a process paragraph. And this sort of paragraph is to some partially important, not that much. But the next one is going to be very important for you, cause and effect. So within the name cause and effect, you understand that what does it mean. In cause and effect paragraph, you have to write the causes of that, and you have to write the effect of that also. Say, let's go to the example straight. Arsenic pollution in Bangladesh. So you have to tell the causes of arsenic pollution, and you have to tell the effect of arsenic pollution. The most important and the most popular, example of cause and effect paragraph is the environment pollution in Bangladesh. So, what are the causes of environment pollution, and what are the impacts of environment pollution? So, this is cause and effect paragraph. It's not difficult, but it's very important, very, very important for the HSC students. Gender discrimination. What are the causes of gender discrimination, and what are the impacts of gender discrimination? So don't go for writing descriptive paragraph or narrative paragraph on these sort of titles. So price hike. So when you will write price hike, you will basically focus on the reasons of price hike, or the causes of price hike, and the effect of price hike. Traffic jam. What are the reasons of traffic jam, or causes of traffic jam, and what are the effects of traffic jam? So remember one thing, traffic jam can also be written as a descriptive paragraph. I have already said, but when you will write a descriptive paragraph on traffic jam, you have to basically show the physical features of the roads. But when you will write a traffic jam as a cause and effect paragraph, you will simply tell the causes of traffic jam and the effect of traffic jam. So it's very important, if it is mentioned in that question paper, that you have to write this paragraph from this point of view, you are supposed to do that. And let's go to the next one, argumentative paragraph. So argumentative paragraph is basically, I'm straight going to the examples. Ambition is neither good nor bad. Avoiding the unnecessary talk is a moral beauty. So when you will be asked to write an argumentative paragraph, in case of argumentative paragraph, what you will do, that you will basically take a side. It's like a debate. So you have to show arguments. Ambition is neither good nor bad. Do you support it? Are you in favor of this? So if you are in favor of it, it's better to go to tell your positive points. If you completely go against it, then go to the negative side. It's not suggested. Look at the first sentence. Argumentative paragraph is that kind of paragraph in which the writers try to establish his or her own point of view, putting his or her arguments for or against something. So either go for it or go against it. That is argumentative type paragraph. So within the name, you can understand the answer is there. So in case of argumentative paragraph, you have to, either support the idea or you have to go against the idea. Avoiding the unnecessary talk is a moral duty. Do you support it? If you support this statement, then then go in favor of it. That yes, you support this and provide your, arguments in favor of it. And if you don't support it, then go against it and give your, logic for that. A persuasive paragraph, the next one, it's not that much important for you. Persuasive paragraph is to pursue the readers and just to, you have to pursue, you have to persuade them on your side. So I'm not going to explain this. It's not that much important for you. And in expository paragraph is a kind of paragraph which is developed by exposing different aspects of a topic. It depicts what a thing is, how it works, and how it is made, how it is something or unlike something, or how it happens. So these paragraphs, all types of paragraphs are important, but this, the most common type of paragraphs for you have already been discussed in this class, so I'm not going to explain these things again. So what should be the length of the paragraph? I have already said that in first paper the length is around 200 words, and in second paper it varies between 120 words to 200 words, sorry, 150 words. Already these things have been discussed, so I am not going to discuss these things anymore. Now, I wanted to, I have already given you the example of a paragraph, but that paragraph is not that much familiar. So that's why I felt the necessity of giving another example. But remember one thing, I have not given here the questions, but the way, paragraph is written in the HSC first paper English, you will be provided some questions. In case of food adulteration, since the questions are very common, that's why I have not used here. The question will be like this: that what is food adulteration? How food items are adulterated, something like this. Who adulterate food items? So what are the impacts of food adulteration? So what steps should be taken to stop food adulteration? This sort of questions are usually formulated and given in the exam so that the students can write a paragraph on food adulteration. I am repeating, what is food adulteration? Why do the people adulterate food? And what are the elements, or what are the ingredients with which foods items are adulterated, and what are the impacts of food adulteration, and what sorts of punishment can be given to the people who are involved in such kind of activity. Now, don't think that I have used two paragraphs. I have used two slides, because it's not possible to show it in a single slide. But don't think that this is divided into two paragraphs. It's a single paragraph, just to show it properly to you so that you can see this properly. I have used two slides. But remember, a paragraph should be written in a single para, not in two para. But if I use that in a single slide, it will be difficult for you to follow. Food adulteration, how I have written it. Food adulteration has emerged. I have not even, the first sentence. Can you remember? The topic sentence or topic introducer, they come in the first sentence or second sentence. So in some cases, the topic sentence, topic introducer is not necessary. We can start with topic sentence. I have started this paragraph with topic sentence. And then I have said or defined food adulteration. So food adulteration has emerged as an issue of serious concern in the country at present. That it's an issue of serious concern. Food adulteration is the mixing of, now I am giving the definition. So I have given the topic sentence at the beginning. And the definition, because I have to follow the questions as well. Food adulteration, if you think that you will bring the second sentence at first, you can do that. Food adulteration is the mixing of poisonous, inferior, harmful, and unnecessary substances to foods. So, what is food adulteration? Food adulteration is the mixing of these substances or poisonous ingredients to food. Who do it? Businessmen and producers are compromising with the quality. The businessmen are doing this. Why? In order to increase the quantity. They want to increase the quantity of the products or the vegetables, or trying to make products appear more appealing, or they may also want to make the products look more appealing and attractive to the people or customers. So these are the reasons. So I have already given the definition, and I have already said that it's a matter of concern, and I have already said who are doing it, and I have already mentioned why are they doing it. So remember these things. According to the questions, you have to formulate the paragraph, formulate the sentences to make it a paragraph. Generally, the addition of adulterant is intentional. So intentionally, the people do it. I mean, the businessmen do it. The major reasons for the intentional addition of the adulterants are the increasing of the profit margin. So they want to make profit. The businessmen want to make profit. So what are the reasons that they adulterate food? The first reason is they want to make profit. Preserve food for a long time. They want to preserve food for a long time so that the food is not rotten. Protecting food items from being rotten. Ripening fruits in advance. In case of fruits, we see that they want to ripen it in advance so that they can get more profit. Making food items look more alluring or attractive. They want to make food items look more attractive. I have kept some sentences in bracket, because you may use these sentences or not. You may make some changes in case of these sentences. These sentences are optional. For some adulterants enter via agricultural steps as they are not cleaned well. I have written over here, if there is a question like this, that how these food items are adulterated, then these sentences within brackets can be used. So that is why I kept these sentences in bracket, that these adulterants, they can enter through the agricultural process. These are visible adulterants like stones, leaves, soil, sand, dust, to name a few. There are different types of adulterants. These adulterants I have already mentioned. You can see them, but the consumer can clean them, and this makes it less harmful. This sort of adulterants are less harmful because the consumers can see them and they can make it clear. Other adulterants that are intentionally added are invisible, but there are some adulterants which are invisible and the consumers cannot see it. They are made invisible by astutely camouflaging with the color of texture, and different colors are used and the consumers cannot see. So they are more dangerous. However, there are hardly any food items from fish to meat, vegetables to milk, biscuits to juice that are not adulterated in one way or another. So all types of food items are adulterated. Vegetables, milk, fish, meat, biscuits, all are adulterated. An adulterant reduces the quality uh, of the food, and this weakens the health of the one who consumes. So what does adulterant do? It decreases the quality and it becomes harmful for the health, thereby increasing the cost for health care, and we become sick. Regular intake of an adulterated food item can lead to many health problems. So if you take it regularly, adulterated food, you will face different types of physical problems. Curable to incurable disorders and diseases can ruin one's lifestyle and life as well. So you may suffer from different types of diseases. Different reports show that adulterated foods are causing serious diseases, including diarrhea and dysentery around the year. Different types of disease may happen, and diarrhea and dysentery, they are common diseases. But there are other serious diseases, like they are generally harmful for the health, and most of them lead to serious health problems like cancer, heart problems, and kidney failure. So you can also face this type of dangerous and fatal diseases. Children and aged people badly children and aged people are badly affected. Children and aged people, we have to use an additional, not additional, we have to use an auxiliary verb obviously over here. So children and aged people are badly affected. It destroys immunity system and resistance power of man. So you know how much harmful it is. It can even destroy the immunity system. Recently, the government has set mobile courts to detect and punish dishonest people. So we know that the government sometimes uses mobile courts. They it deploys mobile court to punish the people. But it is not enough. Both the government and public have to work together in order to eradicate this problem. But merely or the initiatives of the government are not sufficient to stop this problem. We all people should come forward to stop food adulteration. Now, dear students, I explained the structure of paragraph. I explained different types of paragraph. I gave example of paragraph. I wanted to discuss lots of issues in a single class. So if it is not possible for you to keep your concentration, so I would rather request you to download it, and you have to divide this class into 2 or 3 parts, and then you please attend this class. And if you follow this class completely, I hope that it will be beneficial to you, and you will develop your ideas on paragraph writing. So for today's class, I would like to tell you goodbye. Thank you very much.